What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
That they come up strong. They should unite, they should negotiate with PF and come up with one candidate. And they should not be selfish, because it's not everyone who can be a president at once. So they should sit down and make an agreement so that they come up with one candidate and beat UPND. But if they choose to be selfish, it's going to be a landslide victory for HH. That's what I want to...
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalaba from Kitwe. Callers, we have Honorable Harry Kalaba here. Make your phone calls, ask him questions, and what are your contributions? We just wait for a few calls. Hello, caller. Okay, just wait for... Seems the caller is going. Probably the issues in Lusaka where lines are affected. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Bamunkonge ipusheni wangu tukwete wa Honorable Harry Kalaba.
Emkwai ni nde umfana fyo balera ndafyonse kwena tapayo fo ninga soboro la mu fya kwe batifita fili kwino lero linkwata mashiwi aya abali kalaba mufire mu atotera pyovu PF achaji SEL funa asoserefi ngamwati mumone pali ino nchitosho tuli ngachali chakwe batwali minister umo akwe batinaleka bu minister apangana party yakwe yamba nokubombeka ngakuti ayikala afuire aba mukali ati nombo murando akwe bati democracy chifure chabange efo chali so paru bali rwansambu bantu imwe mwo ba beneficiary yansambu pawuteko bafuminepo mumwe balingire mu abana ba ambassador okumona amafunde no muchitikisha afyo ole chitika because uteko nga bwakwimina ino fana ishiba machinery nango alikosa shani tibakupera omulando otawachitire nokakwa kuti wakakwa so nombo uteko usakamana tete bufyenge omuntu napali ino nchitatule michita enjoy mulando wakwe bati democracy mwalimu yali tunturu sana oro chimbi imwe mwali kokola sana na kateko yulipo elyo tete musosi okwe bati imibere imbi tamwale imona obuteko mwalimu walisitire construct efyo bwinga twala icharo pantanji lero kadalizi mwoko yali but kadalizi tayachitire disable yali ama plans ubuteko wabwapangire nokuyeshiba mwalishiba nga ni agriculture mining nango idea vision kwambira pali basata efyo vision yali ngiri okuba lero abanenso abakwisa pabuteko
Bamunkonge ipusheni question. As you can hear, there are so many calls in the background. Ipusheni question wangu.
Okay, wakalaba ndefa murande popa murandu wa rule of law palino nchita ushe twa chitashani pamurandu wa mafundo fo yalenda palino nchita.
Okay, thank you. Rule of law. Bala Yasuka. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's pick some more calls. There are so many people calling. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Joseph. I'm calling you from the USA somewhere.
Please, Joseph, make your contributions.
Thank you. I want to thank Honorable Kalaba or President Kalaba for having come out the way he's come out, and he's really explained a lot of things. The question that I have for President Kalaba, because what we have right now is there is no opposition, truth be told, that can win an election on their own. And over the time, we've seen that President Kalaba has stood by himself, meaning he would want to go into an election by himself. My question to him, first of all, is he willing to work with another person or other political parties for the sake of unity and to bring victory to the Zambian people and kick out this government? Then secondly, What is your take on the composition of ECZ? Are you comfortable as a political party to go into an election of this nature with this particular composition of ECZ, with people who are really known to be UPND cadres? Are you comfortable to conduct an election in this manner? Then the last question, President Kalava, is what is your take? What is your take on the issue, or especially the burial of our late president? Lastly, and not the least, the last one is President Kalava, if you are given an opportunity to govern Zambia, what would be the first thing that you are going to do, first of all, to the judiciary and the parliament? I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take the last two calls, then we allow Honorable Hari Kalaba to answer. Callers, we are hosting Honorable Hari Kalaba. Make your contribution. Let me take two calls, then we throw back to Honorable Hari Kalaba to respond. I love the question about the late president. I forgot to raise it. The former president, Bakili Muluzi, has withdrawn, his participation. He was one of those mediators in the background. Together with other leaders, I'm aware, like Jakaya Kikwete and others. So we'll ask Honorable Hari Kalaba to profile his opinion on the matter. I just noticed that the calls from Zambia keep on cutting, but let's see, we have a caller here. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Leo Ambassador. I'm calling you from South Africa.
Leo from South Africa, make your contributions.
Good evening, Honorable Hari Kalaba.
He can hear you.
I just wanted to say this. What kind of people did the youths make the deal with? Because these people are very, very incompetent. Because how can you be selling power like 500 megawatts, between 500 and 400 megawatts to South Africa, then 100 megawatts to Namibia, 50 to 100 megawatts to DRC Congo. Meanwhile, your country is in a blackout. How can you be selling food when you know your children don't have food? Is that thinking even right? Then my other question that I have for Mr. Hari Kalaba is that, is it possible that they can be able to add up something in the law that a politician, when he promises something and fails to fulfill it, he should be arrested indefinitely? Because this thing of promising, President Akainde had a deal with the youths. He promised the youths that he's going to give them the Black Mountain. Then he's gonna bring in jobs. He's gonna bring in so many things, and the youths went to go and vote for him. 05 a.m. They had to stay there, make sure he secures the position that he has today. Today he doesn't even remember all those things. And today they keep saying when you to obviously just fool the people of the country. The other day, the Minister of Energy went mocking the people, saying, well, I'm now giving you 3 hours of electricity. Can you clap for me? What kind of a government is this? That's the only thing I wanted to say, Ambassador. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me take the last call, then we go to Honorable Hari Kalaba. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba, and good evening, President Hari Kalaba.
Thank you. We can hear you.
Zephania is my name. I'm calling from Lusaka, Zambia. I have one question for President Kalaba. My question goes like this. President Kalaba, has the UPND now turned into an enemy of every people, the very people it once claimed to liberate? Because what we are seeing today is frightening. The monster of Kadarism that President Hakainde Hichilema once sown, he had buried it, is now back, alive and thriving under his own watch. How safe are we as a nation going into the next general election when UPND cadres will be terrorizing citizens instead of protecting them? And why do we see jubilation and celebration among ruling party supporters each time violence or intimidation happens? Is this the new dawn the people were promised of, or have we simply replaced one form of oppression with another? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Honorable Harry Kalaba. Honorable Harry Kalaba, you have various questions. Maybe we start with the issue of the late president. We noticed from a detailed letter done by former President Bakili Muhoozi, where he has given this role back, the role he was playing as mediator in the background, back to the family and government of the Republic of Zambia. Last month, government of the Republic of Zambia appointed their own mediator in the name of Bishop H.K. Banda, Joshua Banda, and the family appointed Archbishop of Lusaka, Archbishop Dr. Alec Banda. The entire process seems to have stalled. What are your thoughts about this?
To be truthful, Ambassador, I wouldn't even want to begin speculating here because I'm not privy really to the reasons that have led former President Bakili Muhoozi to backpedal on him being an advisor or being a mediator between government and the Lungu family. I really would not be the best person really to answer that question. I think the best person to answer that question would be other people that have been involved in the same. All I can say is that we are yet to know, who understand the reasons more, when those who have got the facts to what has made the former president backpedal, when they come to the fore and tell us.
On the broad issue that the late president remained unburied 5 months after we lost him.
Well, that is very sad. I think today I was on Radio Chengelo and I was saying the same thing, that it is un-Zambian, it is disrespectful to say the least to the Lungu family. It is also not correct, even for President Lungu himself in death, a man that ruled this country for 7 years, to be kept in a South African mortuary for 5 months. This has never happened in Zambia. But it's because we have people in government, we have a leadership in this country, Mr. Hichilema in particular, who has said he has to attend that funeral. And if he doesn't attend it, then they have to be in court. That is very sad. I would have loved a situation where Mr. Hichilema would have been magnanimous. For the sake of his brother, you can't be kicking somebody who has died. I mean, when someone dies, they have already surrendered. So it is not worth it for you to keep on flexing your muscles over somebody who has died. I don't think that's the way it should be. It would have been prudent for Mr. Hichilema to allow the Lungu family have a quiet send-off for that son of the soil in a dignified manner that the family sees fit. Ambassador, you will recall that if my memory serves me right, Kapwepwe died in 1980. When Mr. Kapwepwe died and they were burying him, the family had told Bakaunda, who was head of state then, that he should not speak at that funeral. Bakaunda tried to stand and he was advised to stop it. And Bakaunda gave respect to the family, because before you come to the public, Mr. Ambassador Mwamba, you come from a family. There are people who are responsible for you if anything tomorrow happened to you. There are people who are responsible for Harry Kalaba if something happens tomorrow. The citizens first will not say, no, he was our president, therefore we are going to take the terms of reference. What Lefson Mumba, Honorable Lefson Mumba, our national chairman, or what Comrade Chintu, our SGO, will do is to consult the family. How do we proceed now that this thing has happened? President Hichilema will lose nothing by him allowing the family to dispose of President Lungu, let President Lungu be buried in dignity. If you a gun salute, you failed to give him the gun salute when he was alive. You didn't give him the gun salute when he was alive. Why do you want to give it to him in his coffin? I mean, give me a break. Let's allow President Lungu to rest. 5 months, everybody's asking us questions. What has become of Zambia? It's because we have a leadership that is incorrigible.
Thank you. Any thoughts to the other questions by the callers?
Well, I was not picking some questions, but I picked my... Yes, from America. I was talking about, and you know, Ambassador, what surprises me is that people don't pay attention to what happens. We have seen Honorable Kalaba has always been alone. That's a lie. That's a lie. It has never happened like that. We, as Citizens First, started UKA together with other colleagues. And the UKA was not Hari Kalaba. UKA was a composition of over 13 political parties. Why would you want to believe that Hari Kalaba has always been alone and he wants to work alone? That's not the correct position. The correct position has been the CF has always sought unity. That is why, if you might want to know, sir, even when we should have fielded a candidate in Kawambwa, Ambassador, you are aware, yes, the Citizens First withdrew its candidate to allow the PF-sponsored candidate to stand in Kawambwa out of unity. You recall, Ambassador, that in Mwansa-Bwombwe by-election, the CF had to withdraw its candidature when rules of engagement by the Electoral Commission of Zambia were changed on account of wanting to block our PF. We withdrew. If those actions will not show you that we've been pursuing unity, then what will? And when you say we have been seeing him alone there, we've been seeing him alone there, and here is what we are telling you, colleagues. Unity of weaker political parties coming together will not amalgamate into anything. What will help this country is for all of us to go out there, go and work. Once we work and we galvanize support, then we bring it to the table and say, for us as Citizens First, this is what we have done. Our colleagues of PF, what have you brought? Our colleagues from other parties, what have you brought? Vanan, what have you brought? Then we put our efforts together. Then we are going to be strong. It's not just a question of saying we see him alone. Yes, you see me alone because if I'm alone, because I'm president of a party, so I have to go out there in the field and work. But it is not that he doesn't want to work alone. And this issue of saying work together, work together, work together, I want to tell you that forced marriages sometimes are very bad. We must be careful in this issue of just saying work together, work together, work together. Working together is good, but let it be mutual, let it be natural. And I told you earlier on that united we stand, and that we as opposition political parties, our areas of convergence are much more. But we need to do our homework first before we even start talking of amalgamations. We need to do our homework first, because at the end of the day, it will be you from America again who will say, by opposition, there's no opposition in Zambia. There were 14 of them. They came together and they never won any election. But we have to be strong. We have to go out there and prove to the UPND that there's an opposition in this country. If there is no opposition in this country, why are they not distributing electoral materials to areas where they're afraid of losing? It's because they know that Indeed. There is an opposition, and that is why you have seen President Ichilema going all over the place. Yeah, indeed. I remember between 2009 and 2011, the opposition faced the same question of unity. MMD had been in power for 20 years, and their candidate, Rupia Banda, was stabilizing the economy, was doing very well. The economy was doing very well. But there was fear that because UPND, I think, which had about 24 MPs, and PF, which had about 42 MPs, although it had expelled some, that the disunity would still allow MMD to sail through in the 2011 elections. And when the marriage, the so-called forced marriage as we're calling it, didn't work, Mr. Sata made the daring move and decided to go alone.
there was distress in the country because people felt that Mr. Sata couldn't win the election alone without the alliance of UPND. He proved everyone wrong and he won elections. I hope that your Gambo is also informed. And like you are saying, let the unity be brought by bigger principles to save our nation. Honorable Harry Kalaba, let me invite you to begin to make your last remarks, and we conclude the program, because I'm aware that we are cross-broadcasting, especially on TV stations, so they don't have as much luxury time as we have on social media.
I want to give comfort, Your Excellency, to our viewers and Zambians in general concerning the issues of unity. I want to tell you that the Citizens First is very committed to matters of unity. We are as worried as you are there. Sometimes when I go to bed and thinking through events, I even shudder to imagine having Mr. Ichilema become president after 2026. The opposition you are seeing today, which they are saying is not there, will now obviously not be there. The Harry Kalaba you are speaking here, they will silence him once and for all. All these other leaders who are around, they'll silence them once and for all. Because Mr. Ichilema wants to be a life president. That's a fact. And so, I am as worried and as concerned as you. But that should not stop us from employing practical steps in ensuring that we consolidate our gains. That is critical. If we don't do that, we'll perish together. We as CF are very committed. But we must know, as Ambassador Mwamba has said, even in 2011 there were 10 political parties. Zambians naturally settled for a political party. In Malawi we saw how many parties were there. They settled for one. In 2021, where I stood as a presidential candidate, we were 16 contenders. Mr. Ichilema beat the ruling party. Out of 15 political parties which were from the opposition, 15 were from the opposition. Mr. Ichilema beat the ruling party because Zambians decided these others who won't look at them. We campaigned during that time. We went everywhere across the country selling our case. But Zambians said, Harry, not now. You will vote for you in 2026. The time has come now. That one which you said you will vote for in 2026, this is the time. So now, I came out third in the last election. This is the time for you to now make me be number one, together with my colleagues from the opposition that we work with. And already now, we are not alone now, Ambassador Mwamba. We are working with President Mwenya of NED is with us. We are working with President Saboyi Mboyela of NDC. We are working with President Chansa of RDC. We are working with our colleagues from NAREP. We are working with Dr. Jedaida. So we are not alone. We are working with about 5 political parties that have said we work with CF to form government. So the CF is not working alone. That assumption should be decimated. Finally, Ambassador, I want to tell Zambians that we are taking the responsibility of opposition very seriously. We will stand up to Mr. Ichilema and his dictatorial tendencies without fear or favor. It is okay. We have leaders that have gone and leaders have remained. We are going to represent the people of Zambia to the hilt. And those of our colleagues who have been incarcerated, those of our colleagues, like you, Ambassador, who has left the country because the condition is not favorable here, we want to assure you that we will review all these cases once we form government. Zambians cannot just be imprisoned just for talking. These things have to come to an end. We need unity. Above all, above everything, we need unity. There must be unity in diversity. And we as CF will make sure that that unity, the One Zambia, One Nation motto, is not only theoretical. It must be practical, because it is that which will take our country to the next level. Thank you for having me, and thank you for your time, and thank you all us who called on this program. Sincerely grateful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, President. Before you go, I've seen a lot of questions. You alluded to voter protection. Our follower seems to have liked that point. I think you need to emphasize there is fear that despite all your preparations, we might not have free and fair elections because of the state of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And also, what we've seen in the recent by-elections, some you have participated where sometimes violence is unleashed by the ruling party just, at the night of elections, and the observers or party agents are chased. There are a lot of concerns that the ECZ might not deliver a free and fair election, and the conduct of the ruling party may not allow may allow probably a stolen vote where the opposition have won, but that vote is stolen. Just speak to what you talked about, voter protection and what can be done.
We understand, first of all, even before I say I talk on voter protection, or vote protection, I want to tell our viewers out there, be rest assured, this battle is not a physical battle. This battle is spiritual. This is a spiritual battle. What is of the spirit is of the spirit. And nobody can stop what is spiritual, no matter the machinations. We are going to do what we can do physical. That is vote protection. And we in the Citizens First have already identified that we have these 12,164, I think, by polling stations. We need to ensure that we train polling agents in those 12,100 plus polling stations. It's the only way, so that even if it is one vote I have received from Dundu Mwezi, that one vote must count. It must be given to me and not to anybody else. That can only happen when we have vote protection, and we'll do that. For the Electoral Commission of Zambia, we have said this as CF, and we'll say it again. We have people at the ECZ, with due respect to the Commissioner, Madam Zalomes, with due respect to Commissioner Chipenzi MacDonald. These people already showed the whole world, they already showed the whole country their background, that for us we are coming from this background. Some were even trying to aspire as members of parliament on the UPND ticket. And instead of taking them elsewhere, they bring them to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Never in the history of this country have we had an Electoral Commission of Zambia that has been composed of UPND affiliated people than we have now. And that is the problem that we have. And Mr. Ichilema is comfortable with that. We have written to him complaining that this is not correct. Can we have an Electoral Commission of Zambia that is going to reflect the will of the people when people vote the elections? Now, we are going to continue pushing this. I didn't want to say this. Maybe I should not even say it on TV because the process is still ongoing with what we are trying to do with the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We are going to ensure that we have a free and fair election in our own space. We are going to take on the ECZ because it is the Electoral Commission of Zambia of 1991 that made power shift. It is the Electoral Commission of Zambia of 2011 that made power shift. It is the ECZ, which the UPND was very much against, which showed them that they were clean, free from all these things, and they delivered. Now, this ECZ wants to forget its own history, will help them to remember that the job of the Electoral Commission of Zambia is to dispense the will of the people, not anybody's will, but the will of the Zambian people, and they will do just that. Remember, Ambassador, this is a spiritual journey. It's a spiritual battle, not physical.
Powerful ending there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're hosting Honorable Harry Kalaba, Citizen First leader and president. And Honorable Harry Kalaba, I would like to thank you for coming. I invite you again when you have any issue. This is your home, this is your platform. Reach our people through this platform. And thank you for all your thoughts. To our dear listeners and callers, I can see you are still calling. I'm so sorry because there was an arrangement made that we are also live on ordinary TV. So we'll give space to that. Thank you, Honorable Harry Kalaba, and God bless you. God bless you.
Valia who wanted to disturb us in Chongola, yesterday I hear they are planning to disturb the polling station Ninshi.
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.